Hello, I'm Roland Jaquarello, and I'd like to tell you about my book, Memories of Development, about my time in Irish theatre and broadcasting. I first got into Irish theatre in the 60s after I was at Trinity College Dublin, and this period was really a fruitful one for me as a young director. It included a period as a director at the Abbey Theatre, Ireland's National Theatre, where I directed several plays, including The School for Scandal, the 18th century classical comedy by Richard Brinsley Sheridan, and a really interesting new play, Hatchet, by Henno McGee, about violence in working class Dublin. In the 70s, during a very politically turbulent time, I had my own Irish theatre company based in London, Greenfields and Far Away. During 4 years, we produced 13 productions. I directed several, including a very interesting play by Brian McMahon, a poetic play about travelling people called The Honey Spike, a play about emigration, The Scattering, set in the 50s by James McKenna. That was a play with music, and a specially commissioned play which was written by Ian Macpherson, Jack Doyle, The Man Who Boxed Like John McCormick, which was about the celebrated and rather idiosyncratic Irish boxer. So that was a really interesting period on the road. Later, I was involved with the Lyric Theatre Belfast. I'd been freelance there for many years. Between 1988 and 91, I was artistic director, and I directed quite a few Irish plays, but also several American dramas. And these included After the Fall by Arthur Miller, a play which is sort of remembered because the elements of it are based on Miller's relationship with Marilyn Monroe. The Iceman Cometh by Eugene O'Neill, that gargantuan epic, and the steamy southern American drama Cat on a Hot Tin Roof by Tennessee Williams. I also oversaw a production by a Soviet director. This was a glasnost play called Threshold by a writer called Alexei Dudorov. A Belarusian team were involved in the production, which was extremely exciting and was celebrated by a standing ovation on the first night by the lyric audience. At the end of the 90s, I became a senior producer radio drama based in BBC Northern Ireland in Belfast. During that period, I was lucky enough to work with many good Irish writers, including Brian Friel, Sebastian Berry and Tom Murphy, among many others. Another thing that happened during that time was that I was to multi-skill. I got into producing music docs for BBC Radio 2. This led to me doing documentaries on Van Morrison, Joni Mitchell, Mel Torme and Marlon Brando. Over my career, I've worked with a variety of people, including Liam Neeson, Colm Meaney, Val Kilmer and Marianne Faithfull. So I do hope you'll give it a go, and thanks very much for hearing what I have to say.